Morning, good morning. It is still morning, right? Yeah, 10:28 on a Tuesday morning. How you doing? I just wanted to do a little video of discussing making things that are not meant to do what they're supposed to do. Like, for instance, I've been playing around with making little templates that I can use as style settings inside of ScreenFlow. So once I've made the layout, I can create them as styles. That way, any video source that I use, so for instance, either a 16:9 perspective webcam input, for instance, I can apply some styles to it and turn it into a circle, and that circle will have a background. But it's been driving me a little bit crazy of how I can get the circle background, because every time I was trying to put an annotation inside of ScreenFlow, like a square annotation of a white block, and then I wanted to round the edges of it to match what I've got as an input, I couldn't do it. So it was driving me crazy. So I found a way to do it this morning. So the output, you're actually looking at the output now. If I think about it, you're going to have it on screen. I'm going to have to move this to the right hand side of the screen, but this is what I ended up with, which was just like, forget the coloring on it. Actually, I can take that video color off. Let me get rid of that monochrome color because we don't want that in there. I should actually go into my template and take off that monochrome color as well. It's definitely going to have the green screen stuff in there, but I'm going to take that off. So what I worked out is that I can take a copy of the circle settings that I've got. So that's the circle settings with the green screen activated like that, right? So I can take the settings, which is basically I've cut the edges of it, made it a square instead of 16:9, and then when I use the corner round at 550, that rounds the square enough to be a circle. Now there's an interesting caveat with this, right? That it has to be 1920 by 1080. I changed the stage to be 1280 by 720, and that turned it into an oval. So it's kind of weird, but like those settings are affected globally across the site, across the sizings of the stage. So I need to find the perfect settings now for 720 as well as 1080, depending on what I'm using. I could record it at 1080 and then export the video out at 720, so I don't really miss out at anything there. Anyway, so the point was that I have in my template the camera and a microphone placeholder. So whenever I use a camera and the microphone, it will be on the template, and then I've also got another copy of that. But what I did is if you look at the settings here, the scale of it is 35%. So the second one I set to 38%, so that it's actually bigger. And what that ends up doing is creating this kind of like white block. This is actually still the webcam, but what I've done is added a filter to that webcam, which enables me, if I select this one and go to video filters, you can see it's got a false color on it. So it's actually still the video. If I turn this off, it's still the video underneath. So what I've done is just taken a copy of it, right? So if I do false color again, then I can actually add in, I put these colors, the white, into my actual palette so I can get to them easily. So it's still the video, but it's been replaced with a false color. And then because this is 38% scale, when I turn on the other copy of it, then the webcam sits inside of that. And the reason why I put the white edge around it is that whenever I'm filming something, it stands out from the background. And that's what I was trying to do, because if you just have it like this, and then have the actual green screen turned on. So if we go on here and I do video filters and add chroma key, you'll see that it looks weird because it's just sitting there like that. Whereas if I have that on the background, then I can start to add effects into here as part of the green screen. So I'm kind of working around with that. And the reason why I'm making these is that over the 600 students that I've got in my OBS course, the majority of the people, they just want to have ready-made things. They want to be able to have a ready-made circle webcam overlay. They want to have like lower thirds. They want to have like graphics ready to go so that they can download the tool, download the asset packs, add them in, and then start tinkering themselves. It's like starting from a blank sheet is incredibly difficult. Like whenever you open any app, there's always that like dread of just like blank sheet. Like you know what you want to creatively make, but then it's the difficulty of getting those things together. And I seem to see that people then take those assets and go, I need to make it this way, or how is this made, and then they can start unpacking it in their head and start learning creatively that, because people learn in different creative ways. Some people are visual learners, some people are like literally having to research and read everything before they execute on it. I'm the kind of person that like unpacks how something was made. And also I find it valuable that stepping through and knowing the tool to this degree, to be like, oh yeah, I've got a style somewhere and this is how I made that style, makes it so much easier to then make other elements. So one of the things I'm working on is making a little gumroad pack that I can sell for this template, that a person can download the whole package template, and then they can use that template as an actual recording, configure recording inside of ScreenFlow. So if you want to record, for instance, something similar to this, like you've got the whole screen and you want the little webcam in the corner, you just have to do configure recording, use the template that I've made, so that this template is basically using these placeholder clips, which is the screen recording, computer audio, camera and microphone, iOS device. So even though I'm using a Logitech Brio, if you download the template, it will use your screen recording and computer audio. So like it will literally grab your screen and the camera and microphone that is natively set up inside of preferences. So it doesn't need to see my Brio, for instance, it will just see your camera and microphone. And then they've just clicked on recording, they're recording the screen, they're recording the webcam. I've actually made improvements to the audio by detaching the audio from the webcam and then adding a bunch of audio filters. How do I do this? There you go. I had this problem before where if you click off it, it doesn't come up. You can see I've got a bunch of audio filters there using Apple stuff to limit it and to boost the sound quality. And then underneath that, obviously I've got the screen recording. So it's a very basic template, but it saves somebody time, because what it does is enables you to say, oh, I really want to record something about DTube or Splinterlands or something happening on a blockchain service. And they can go into that template, they can select it, they can just sit in front of their camera, as long as their lights are set up, as long as the green screen's set up, as long as the mic's got their filter on it. And then when they finish recording, this template has already applied those styles to those placeholders. And I freaking love that, because it means that I can make a template with lots of different styles in it, and you can just switch them on and off in post, move them around in post. And yeah, I just get excited about stuff like that because it saves me time. If I can jump into something knowing that my webcam is all set up with the green screen and the backgrounds, and I can turn different backgrounds on and off, that's kind of cool. I'm trapped at the moment between using OBS as just my local recording and streaming, and ScreenFlow, because they do different things. But just learning little things like this is really, really helpful. So what I'll do now is I'll go back into this and I'll make a few changes into this. I can add different like animation layers underneath this or above this. No, it's going to be underneath the green screen one. I should turn that onto green screen actually. I'm going to turn that, and I'm going to put video filter on chroma key, and I'm going to change this chroma key to green, obviously. Refine the key like that, and then so that's my top one, and then underneath is going to be my white one, which is a white background at 38%, I think it is. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, 38%. And what this means is if I save this now, you'll see at the top it says template. If I save this, then basically it saves these layers in the template for when I use it next. Now I'm actually going to stop recording now, but this recording is using that template. So now once I finish recording, I can see the changes that I've made next time I use it. I'll be doing some more little tutorials like this, make it a little bit easier to understand. They seem a little bit more advanced than they actually are, but once you start using styles and templates, like, you'll want to have everything templated.